I'm at the Brewster Thrift Store in Brewster, Massachusetts. I'm finding real bargains on the road. How about the milk glass? Look at this, heavy, weighty. You recognize the pattern, right? I know there's cable in the frame. I'm sorry, try to ignore it. It was so much good content, I didn't want to just dump it because of the cable. You recognize the pattern for the top hat. And these top hats are pretty desirable. This one is even on sale. It was actually $6, now it's $5. So they're trying to move this along. So this one's nice, unmarked, completely unmarked. The pattern goes all the way around. When you see the pattern go to the underside, it's usually a newer variation on an older style milk glass. So again, when you see the pattern come from here all the way around the bottom, you're seeing a newer variation on an old style. So the $5 sale isn't much of a sale. It's probably only worth $7. These, in fact, are not that. These are very nice, and the creamer with the sugar. There's the creamer and the sugar bowl. Let me put it up against my blue shirt. It'll give you a nice piece. You can see the creamer with the sugar bowl. Open sugar bowl, it means no lid. So open sugar bowl is pretty typical, and then you've got, again, this nice creamer. This is really nice. It has the leaf pattern, and that leaf pattern is very textural, so you're seeing that too. This is a nice set. Now, how much are these? Well, these are 8 each. They're 8 each. They're probably worth 12 each, so 24 as opposed to 16. So you're going to make, 25%, I guess. You're going to make some money on that. But these are really nice. Why are they so nice? Let me show you with the sugar. So first of all, very, very textured pattern, right? You can feel it. You can feel the texture of the pattern. Then you see this little element here and this little element here, like the thorns of the branches. Those kinds of details are what make these things higher and higher. A lot of the cheapies don't have those kinds of details, so you want to look for the details. Remember that old saying, devil's in the details? Well, the value's in the details too, so that's what we're looking at here. This is really nice. So look for those details, and this, I would say, definitely buy the pair. Don't forget to buy the pair, right? Don't leave one, just get the sugar bowl. Don't go crazy looking for a lid, either a top. There was no top. If there was a top, there'd be a little line inside here. And that line inside here would be where the top would actually set. It would sit right there. So that's what you're looking at. I like these. I would keep those. I'd probably leave the top hat here, but I'd take the sugar and the creamer. I told you that I like decanters. Barware really hot. This is $16 for a decanter. That decanter is in pretty nice shape. It's a nice form. I like the nice organic, also known as biomorphic form. It's not particularly antique. It's probably, I'd say 30 years old, but it's pretty nice. So it's from the early 1990s, but it's a nice shape. It's a classic shape. It looks good in a modern dining room. And for $16, you probably could get 50 out of it. Maybe you can get 40 out of it, I would say. Then you have pieces like this, cased glass. So a nice blue piece of cased glass. That one, let me put my glasses on and see how much those are. That one says 14. So it's blown, it's nice, it's a good shape, but mass produced for $14, I think it's a little high. This piece is really a nice piece. Look at this. Look at this piece, look at that element, look at the red against the black. A lot of people decorate in that. This is cased glass too. So see how the cased glass is, the white glass inside with the red glass outside. And then you can see also, look at the top. That should be a nice sharp line all the way around the top. So that white should be right up against the red. It should be in a very sharp line there. The other place where there should be a sharp line, like razor sharp line, should be down here. See how this is sort of, it looks like it's getting gray, it's almost muddy. It's very, very dark here, and then it's kind of muddy here. There's also an inclusion here where my finger is. You can see the indentation into the piece. But the problem with this is it looks Italian, it has the form of the Italians, it has the color scheme of the Italians in Murano and even in other parts of Venice. But that's a problem, and this is a problem. This piece is made in China. And the reason why you know that this is a knockoff made in China, it's not a sharp line right here where the red meets the white. It's not a sharp line where the black meets the red. Those are the telltale signs. Those are the things you got to look for. Because when you look for these things, you're not going to get fooled. So when I turn this piece over, you're going to see, yeah, it's blown glass. There's Dupontel, but it's made in China. So mass produced for the open market, trying to look like a mid-century modern design thing. You're going to see these in Home Goods and Marshalls, and you're going to see these in a lot of those sort of home decor stores. Not terrible, not hurting anybody, but it's got to be pretty cheap. So for $14, that's entirely too much for this. Because I think they think it might be Murano. They think it might be Italian glass of that time period. So that's the only thing I would say about that. That I would leave right here. I like this pink glass piece very well. The pink glass piece is free form. That's a free form blown glass piece. How do you tell? Look at this. First of all, look at the overall shape. Take it down and look at this shape. So you see how there's curves here, almost natural, like a shell. Then it's really big on this side. Okay? Then I want you to look at the bottom. Get to the swirls in a minute. I know you like the pink and the white, but get to the swirls at the bottom first. So look at the bottom first. There's a basically smoothed down pontil where the blow hole was actually, where the blow pipe was actually there. You can see again this idea. Now look at this. See how thick this is? See how thick it is here? See how thin it is here? So thick, thin. It should all be the same. It shouldn't be thick and thin like this. So I think this is an amateur artist working in this. The other thing we're going to see that I don't want you to miss, bubbles. You see, I don't know if you can see the bubble there, but bubbles, there it is. See that bubble right there? That bubble is a good example of what you're looking at. So the swirls are nice, but they can't control the air that's going in as they blow the glass. They're not able to control the actual base and how big the base is all the way around. So it's an amateur piece. It's nice, but for $25, it's way too high. So that I would keep there. Sometimes you just go, oh, I have to have it. That I would leave here too. So these aren't bargains yet. This is your bargain. You might have missed it. Do you see the iridescence of this shell piece? And I think it might be difficult to see. Maybe if I stand in front of it, put it up against my shirt, you can see it better. This is a standing shell dish. Iridescent glass, all that different coloration. You can see it's pink, it looks like a little blue, almost like Aurora Borealis crystals. This is blown glass, and this is a master glass blower. This piece is Italian. This piece dates to the 1970s. This piece is just gorgeous. I'm going to pick it up and show it to you, just so you can. And you want to do this with two hands like that. And I'm going to turn this way so you can see it. I mean, that is just gorgeous. The iridescence is beautiful. The shape is beautiful. And also, of course, all of the scallops of the shell right there. That's really a gorgeous piece. You can see how it's controlled, and the bottom is also a telltale sign. Look at the thickness of the base, which is indicative of Italian glass. And I want you to look at the back too. When you see the underside, you're going to see that characteristic pontil. Look at that pontil. That pontil is very nice, very well done, and it's smoothed down, but it's a nice pontil as well. Now, they want $6 for this piece. And I have to tell you, this piece, look at this decoration on this side. This piece, they want $6 for. See that label right there? 6. Are you guessing what it's worth? Do you have any idea what it's worth? Do you know what it's worth? Well, let me tell you what it's worth. Value on this piece will sell in the secondary market for $215. It's a gorgeous piece. It's in beautiful condition, and it certainly shouldn't be up on this shelf for $6. But there's great stuff on these thrift store shelves, and all of these thrift stores, but particularly here too. I'm leaving it here for you to find, for you to do. So here's your lesson. You come into a thrift store, buy it when you see it, because on this mannequin was a blow-up flamingo and a Coach purse. And the Coach purse was very low priced and very expensive, and the flamingo was pretty cool. It's gone, so it was bought already. So you got to move fast at the thrift stores. It's still a Barbie world, right? The Barbie Dream House, right? So this one would open. Actually, it will get, you can put it out of the way. So this will open like this, and the whole piece will open. They want $25 for it, which is a very good price for them. You could clean this up, resell about 75. So that's a nice one. Barbie accessories, clothes, dolls, as well as, of course, her architecture and her vehicles sell for an awful lot. So Lenox, a couple things about Lenox. Different marks, different colors at different times. So these are gold mark Lenox. So you know that these are the latter part of the 20th century, the 60s, 70s, 80s, 90s. When you see green mark Lenox, that's a different time period. All of these look like Lenox, one of them is not, right? One of them is not marked. Can you guess which one's not marked? It's this one. And it looks like Lenox, but in fact, it is an unmarked piece trying to look like Lenox. These three are the true Lenox pieces. So you have this one, duly marked, this one also marked, and this one, oh, I can't get it over, and this one marked too. So these are all Lenox pieces, three nice ones, and typical types, typical designs for the Lenox. This one is a very rare design you don't typically see all that often, oftentimes associated with weddings because of the two spouts for the vases, but this is the characteristic, very unique and classic style, the very classic style for Lenox, a nice little bowl that you would put on a side table with, of course, the sterling silver. And this one is the heart bowl, which was very popular, especially at Valentine's Day. So they want, with the little hearts, so they want 10 for the rare one. They want 6 for this one. There's the $6. That one's a deal. And 2 for this one. This is your best deal, too. So that one is $20 on the retail value. And then here on the $6 one, I would say $25 for retail value. This one also, they want 10 for this one. I would say 30 for this one on retail value. Now the big one is the one you probably would go to first. And you'd say, oh, I really want this big one. It's beautiful and I have to have it. But in fact, this one is $12. Well, $12 is a good value for a vase this size. But this particular one, being a knockoff, that one I would say is probably only worth $25. If it were a real Lenox, $85. So there's the difference of knowing what's what. Look at the marks, use the loop, and get the best stuff. I left all the bargains for you at the Brewster Thrift Store.